Hello world, it is Boxie Nigma here, and hopefully you there. In about 1 hour from now, probably about 20 minutes after I put this up, the NFC Championship game will be commencing on Fox Television today as the Green Bay Packers head to Chicago to take on the Chicago Bears. It doesn't get much bigger than this, people. I mean, for me, being a diehard Jets fan, I'm acting as if this game's the appetizer. The main course is the Jets and the Steelers. But this game right here, I mean, for an appetizer, it's almost as if you ordered an appetizer sampler. It's a huge game. I mean, you have division rivals. Some may argue there is not two bigger division rivals in all the NFL than the Bears and the Packers. And you have the Bears and Packers going at it head-to-head. I mean, there's something that you probably never even really considered when the playoffs started. A lot of people thought Atlanta. A lot of people thought maybe we'd get Vic going to Atlanta. I myself, though, if you keep in mind, in the beginning of the year, did say we have a chance for a 6-seed Super Bowl, and we're in the final week of the playoffs, and you got both 6 seeds here, and the Super Bowl awaits in 2 weeks. But let's not get that far into it. I'm sure I will be doing the Super Bowl show as we lead up to the Super Bowl. But let's focus here on this game. Right now, there's not a quarterback who is more in the zone than Aaron Rodgers. This guy put up, 48 points in the Georgia Dome last week? Let that sit for a second. 48 points, are you kidding me? In the Georgia Dome? You heard all this crap about Matt Ryan. Even myself, I came on here blabbed about Matt Ryan being unbelievable at home and the Falcons, this is the year, and he comes in there and drops 48 on them? Oh my God. I mean, granted, it's a team effort and that defense is stifling. I mean, Truman Williams is turning out to be an absolute wrecker in the in quarterback position. I mean, you head to the team, it's kind of like the Jets. The Jets, you always want to go at Cromartie. You want to avoid Revis. Well, here you want to go at Truman Williams, and he's having a great year. So, I mean, he's having a great playoffs, definitely. And that Pro Bowl snub's looking bigger and bigger as we continue here. So, I look at it like that. However, if I'm looking at this game, the Bears are a team that all year it's been like, oh man, well, Bears aren't that good. Bears aren't that good. And now here we are, we're sitting in the NFC Championship. They're 1 win away from a game, from the Super Bowl, and they're playing in Chicago. Do I think that plays a factor? Absolutely. Look back, I believe it was like week 4 or 5 when that Monday night game when Green Bay went into Chicago and it was both of them going back and forth. Chicago had that great comeback and ended up winning and the crowd was cheering, going nuts, doing the Bears fight song, and it was absolutely ridiculous. So do I think the Bears have a shot here? Yes, I definitely do. Especially, I really believe teams look at the spreads. I really do. And I think here they have to feel slighted. They're 3-point dogs at home to Green Bay. That's tough. And the Bears always play the Packers hard. I mean, especially this year, even that last week of the playoffs, Bears played hard, and almost, if Cutler pulls off that drive there in the end, Packers might not even be in the playoffs. I mean, everything could be different. They wouldn't be in the playoffs if the Bears knocked them off. So really, the Bears have no one to blame but themselves if they lose here. Do I think they're going to lose? I do. I don't think there's any stopping the Packers right now. As a Jet fan, I am hoping that the Bears win this game. But if that is tough, then it gets tough though, because if the Bears win and the Jets lose, then you got Bears Steelers, and to me that's probably the least exciting of the potential matchups that could occur. So with that being said, when the dust gets settled though, I do think the Packers, I really find that it's going to be difficult to stop them. Bears have a great defense. What I do think it's going to come down to is Jay Cutler. I do think usually it comes down to the quarterback, and Cutler, he showed a little bit of sign last week when he threw that awful pick to Seattle. Even though it was at the end of the game, that pass was nowhere near any of his receivers. There's a little bit of the vintage Cutler, and that's not vintage in a good way. I do think in putting a huge spot like this, I think Cutler could screw this up, and I think the Packers are just rolling too high right now. I mean, they're proving that you do not need a run game to get it done. Even though they do have a decent running back now, honestly, right now it's all on Aaron Rodgers, and the guy is just playing about as good as you can play. And check your facts on this one. He is the #1 rated quarterback in the history of the playoffs. Granted, he's only had 3 playoff games, and last year he did lose in a 51-45 matchup. But right now he is so in the zone, I can't see the Packers losing. I think the Packers are going to head to Dallas. I think they have a lot of cheeseheads in Dallas too, because there is not a fan base more loyal than that one. Speaking of fan bases, the price of these tickets started as low as $450. So people want to go to this game. It's going to be crazy. You're going to have a lot of Bears fans. You're going to have a lot of Packers fans. This is about as good as it gets. When you cut it right at its crux, this is what football's all about. Smash mouth, 2 great teams, 2 great defenses. I'm picking the Packers. 3 points, take them. Absolutely against that spread. I like this game. This game should be a good game. It should be fun. I don't expect a blowout like it's been for the Packers last week. I think it'll be close. I'm rooting for the Bears because I just, with that in Chicago, that they haven't had a real go at it since they won the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman, and no one who thought they were going to win that. So I think this could be a real fun game. You got two quarterbacks, both 27 years old, but I think at the end of the day, Rodgers does pull it off, and the Packers are my pick. 3-point favorites over the Bears in Chicago. Next up, you know where I'm going to go. If you don't like my silliness with the New York Jets, skip over it, but I'm going to be talking about the Jets and the Steelers, black and yellow versus green and blanco. I will see you then. Until then, you be well.